And how can you draw the team players that you want to your company? Some of that is through a benefits package. We don't want just seat fillers, right? We want people who are going to live in the company culture that we have. They're going to want to grow in their career. They want a career instead of just a job. Well, people who want a career want benefits.
Yes. If the word gets out that company B is offering what you're not, I don't care what kind of relationship you have with that employee, they may see so much benefit in that that they go over there.
Yeah, they go somewhere else, especially if they have a family, young kids, spouse, things like that. I will say, when you take care of your people, they take care of your clients.
Yep.
Welcome to the Lasting Business Solutions Podcast, Indy's launchpad to sustain business success, growth, and leadership. My name's Renee Lucas, and I am your host. And joining me today is my husband and co-owner of LCS Heating and Cooling, Travis Lucas.
Thanks for having me back.
Yes, it's so good to be back. Well, we're going to talk about something super fun today, benefits.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I promise we're going to make it a fun discussion because, it's spring. We're feeling like we're ready to spring into growth. And we're going to talk about growing your benefits package for your team and how can you draw the team players that you want to your company. Some of that is through a benefits package.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
Yeah. The value that if you don't have that, you probably aren't going to get the best players on the team.
No, absolutely. And when we're talking about, we don't want just seat fillers, right? We want people who are going to live in the company culture that we have. They're going to want to grow in their career. They want a career instead of just a job. Well, people who want a career want benefits.
Yes.
So Travis, as we talk about today, we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about what are some non-negotiables in our benefits package. These are the things that really you have to figure out how to offer these things. We're going to talk about some easy add-ons, like, what is something that is budget friendly but tends to be loved by people. We're going to talk about how to show value in your benefits, how to keep it in front of our team so that they understand the value of that benefits package and what they have. And we're going to get a little creative on how do I create budget? How do I plan for this? Maybe this isn't something that we can do this year, but it's a goal that we have to add in a year or two, right? So let's start with some of those non-negotiables. What is something that you think is a non-negotiable? If you are a business, you need to be able to offer this to your employees.
Well, the number one thing, and it seems like it's more prevalent now than ever, is time off. You
PTO.
better have, PTO.
Yeah.
You better have it.
Yeah, you better be able to give. And I will say, this is something we've talked about before, because when you started your career, I mean, you had been working for several years in your career and you had 40 hours of paid time off, and that was it. Yeah. And so as we've talked about more like a couple of weeks, a few weeks, even more than that, you're like, whoa, hold on.
I didn't have that.
No, but I mean, it's not, times have changed.
Times have changed, and I think of it as everyone's like me. They're going to work 80 hours a week. That's not realistic.
No,
so time off is a more and more of an important thing to most people.
Yeah, I would agree. I completely agree. I think it's a non-negotiable. I think another non-negotiable for me is health insurance. Yeah. And so whether it's a traditional health insurance plan, whether it's something like supplemental insurance, like an Aflac or a Colonial Life or something like that, whether it is some sort of stipend or budget that you give for people to get their own health insurance, I think there's got to be something for insurance.
For sure.
Yeah, I think so. I would say for me and Travis, those are our two non-negotiables.
Yeah, and like Aflac, for example. Yeah. I mean, I mountain bike. Yeah. And all the time I was mountain biking when I was working for someone, I'm like, I didn't really, I guess, was concerned with crashes.
Right, but what if you'd had an accident?
I know.
Yeah, so short-term disability is another, you might be able to package some things together when you think about insurance and medical expenses and things like that. I know one that we're asked for a lot is dental insurance. It's really important to people, more so than vision or medical even sometimes. So really looking at, so let's talk about those non-negotiables, because health insurance is not cheap, right?
No.
Paid time off, not cheap.
No. And it's not even the time off. It's the the revenue missed for the work when they're gone.
Yes.
So it's a double whammy for companies. Yeah.
It really is. And the PTO even more so, right? Because
yeah.
we're paying somebody to not be here and we're missing the opportunity to make money at that same time. So it has to be planned for, right?
Yeah.
When we look at insurance, there's several different options. You know, I always recommend getting a broker, an insurance broker, because they can shop different plans to see what's a good fit for you. Definitely look at supplemental insurance. A lot of that, you can offer that, but it's actually zero cost to the employer. And so it's a nice offering there. And it's fairly inexpensive, you know, depending on what you're doing for some of those plans. And then there's like group plans. So you might be in a chamber of commerce and have a membership there, have some sort of membership somewhere where they offer some sort of like, I forget what they call it actually, but it's like a big plan where everybody's in this pot and everybody kind of splits cost and things like that. But that can result in lower premiums than if you were to just do an individual health plan, right? Another option is if you are doing an HSA plan, you know, there is an HSA bank account. So maybe there's a little bit of money that you'd put into an HSA bank account for an employee. You don't have to pay 100% of premiums. You might choose to pay 50% of them. You might choose to pay a certain percentage for the employee and a different percentage for their family. I mean, there's so many options, but you have to take the time as a business owner to look into those and figure out what it is. And you have to work that into your budget. It's a non-negotiable.
Yeah, you will, if the word gets out that company B is offering what you're not.
Yeah.
I don't care what kind of relationship you have with that employee. They may see so much benefit in that.
Yeah.
That they go over there.
Yeah. They go somewhere else, especially if they have a family, young kids, spouse, things like that. So if you employ somebody and the spouse stays at home, they're the sole provider for their family. They're going to have some sort of benefit options with that.
Yeah. So those are definitely the non-negotiables.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about what some add-ons are. So as small businesses, and we feel like, man, I can't necessarily, like I heard of a corporation that was offering like 3 months of paternity leave, right? I don't think like for us as a business, we can't swing 3 months of paid paternity leave. We can't, we're a small business. Number one, we can't afford it. Number two, we're not big enough to cover somebody be gone for 3 months. It doesn't work for our company. So how do we combat that? And it's by add-ons, like what makes sense for our team, right? Like we can say all day, man, it's 3 months of paternity leave. But when I look at our team, how many people on our team are going to have babies in the next 5 years? I can probably count on like one finger, maybe two. And so it may not be, while it's a nice benefit, it may not have a lot of value to our team.
Correct.
Because of the people on our team, right? So what are some other add-ons, Travis, that you feel like have been really good and a big value add, but inexpensive in broad terms for the company?
Well, the add-on, birthday.
Oh, birthday paid off.
I know you're big on that.
Yeah.
I'm not so much, but I enjoy it now because for the first X amount of years when we implemented it, I didn't have my birthday off.
I know his birthday's in July and it's blue billion degrees. So,
but everybody really enjoys that now.
Yeah.
Out of the gate, we had someone, well, can I take my Friday off? Well, your birthday's on Tuesday. So
right. So that's a really good point. Sometimes with benefits, you have to set some clear boundaries, right? And so that was something we ran into. And as I'll tell you, as an owner, it can be you can feel a little defeated when you're trying to do something awesome for your team. You implement something like your birthday paid off, and then somebody gets upset because their birthday's on a Thursday and they want Friday off, and you tell them they have to take Thursday. And then you get to a point as a business owner, you're like, well, I shouldn't have done that in the first place, right?
But for the most part,
you're
going to have some one-offs, but it's super appreciative. And then it's a fairly inexpensive add-on.
It really is.
That a lot of people aren't doing.
Right. It really is. And I'll tell you, I was in a Best Buy once, and there was somebody this was years ago, but it was a younger guy that was checking me out, and he wasn't grumpy, but he wasn't exactly personable. And so I was trying to chat a little bit, and he was like, today's my birthday. He was like, I'm just mad I'm working on my birthday. And that was what had kind of stemmed our conversation of, oh my gosh, we should give everybody their birthday paid off. Yeah. And if it falls on a Saturday, they get Friday. If it falls on a Sunday, they get Monday. And so there's a pretty good chance you're going to have a 3-day weekend in there.
Eventually.
Yes, eventually. Yes.
And you got to budget for it, obviously.
Yeah.
It's not free.
No.
But it doesn't break the bank.
No. And it's something that can be very well planned for.
Yes.
Right.
And obviously, the birthday's on that day every single year.
Yeah.
Easily planned for.
Yeah, 100%. What's another easy add-on that you feel like has been good for a company?
Well, since I've been working, the the day after Thanksgiving.
The favorite 4-day weekend of the year.
It always was asked. Yeah. We would ask everybody, who wants to work Friday? And then a few hands would go up. This was a month or two out. And then 3 weeks get out from Thanksgiving, they're like, well, I didn't really want to work. So ultimately, we added that as a benefit as the day after Thanksgiving's paid.
Yeah. It's a paid holiday. So it's 2 days there. And that's another one.
It's huge. 4-day weekend.
It happens once a year. It's easily planned for, easily budgeted in, but it's something that is so appreciated to get that 4 days off.
Football, turkey.
Yes, naps, shopping.
Time with the family. It goes a long way to have that day off.
Yeah. And so those have been like those two add-ons for us. People have, like, we've talked about Christmas Eve. That would be another example. For our business, it can be really cold in December around Christmas. And so we feel like for us, that's a really hard one to guarantee every year. And so we've not made that. But I think Christmas Eve or the day after Christmas is another, depending on your business, it could be an easy kind of value add-on benefit.
If your business isn't weather driven, that could be a fairly easy add-on.
Right. Now, take retail. Like if you're in the retail space, the day after Thanksgiving is a no-go.
Forget about it.
Yeah, for you. So you've got to think about, these are just ideas. They're going to work for some businesses, not work for others, but it's to kind of get those creative juices flowing on like, how can I beef up my benefits package? I'll tell you something that we did. So uniforms, we'd always provided shirts, right? So polos, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, that sort of thing. As a benefit, we added in hoodies and hats. Oh my God.
It was like Christmas.
It was.
All over.
Everybody loves it.
Hoodies are definitely my favorite. Hoodies are probably the number one out of everybody.
Yeah.
And we've had a couple people come over from other companies and they had to buy theirs, or they didn't even ever have a chance at even getting hoodies.
Right. They'd be in like a starchy button-up shirt or something like that. And that's what they're like, oh my gosh, I'm comfortable. I really like this. Everybody loves wearing hoodies. Yeah. Great advertising for the company as well. And so that was something that was a really easy, fun add-on. You're going to have an initial upfront investment in that. But then after that, if you just monitor your uniform inventory supply, you're just replenishing minimums back up to maximums.
Now let's set some standards here and some parameters. Don't go buy paper thin hoodies.
Don't get crap, right?
Yeah, do not get crap. They have to be thick. They have to be comfortable.
Yeah.
You got to be able to wear them outside when it's 5 out and be like, I'm comfortable. Something
that I'm weird about with hoodies, I like the super soft material, number one, but sometimes the neckline, if there's a real thick neck like seam, it itches me. And so that's something that I'm really, like I try a hoodie on, I'm like, oh, there's no itching going up here from like a seam.
I love our hoodies because they're tight around the neck.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And they're thick. They're warm.
They're real warm. Yeah. You put a base layer and you're good to go.
You don't need a coat. And that's the other thing is everybody hates wearing coats, right? So that was a really fun, easy add-on for us. Like I said, there was definitely an initial investment to get all of that. But then once you have it, keeping up on it is just part of the uniform budget.
Now, didn't you have like 15 rules for the hoodies of no pipe dope, no glue?
Yeah. Well, I lost that battle.
Yes, you're going to.
I lost that battle. So now we actually, this was Riley's idea. We actually, we are going to, this is our thing for 2026. We've got a clothes rack and we're going to have everybody's size. So they get one hoodie, one jacket, one nice shirt that's hung up there for like pictures and videos and things. Or if we're going to like a nice networking event, so you can pull a clean one and you don't have to worry about attic stains or whatever. Furnace stains. All right. So let's think about another one. I think this is specific for our trade. But Travis, you've talked a little bit about technicians go through tools a lot. They go through work boots a lot. Talk a little bit about that benefit for us.
Tools are a must. The right tools and good quality tools are a must for our trade, and that goes for all the trades.
Right.
Making sure that they have the right stuff and quality on their van in their possession is stellar. And we have a tool account. It starts over at the beginning of the year.
So they get so much money
to go put towards.
Are you afraid that anybody's gonna like go get themselves new tools and then quit?
No, not anymore. That's life. If you give someone the tool account and they leave a week later, well, you did something wrong. You did something wrong as owners.
I like that. It wasn't the tools. I will say, we were scared of that when we put this into place. And we had these parameters. It was like, okay, if you buy a tool on your tool account, if you leave within 60 days, you either have to pay for the tool or it's like company tool.
Too much tracking.
No, we got rid of that because number one, we don't have that issue of people buying tools and then quitting, right? So it's really a company culture issue, like you said, if you have that issue.
And also that add-on can be easily increased every year. Without, you don't have a lot of exposure or a lot of expense as a company by upping the dollar amount. Because let's be honest, a drill now, a really good drill is $350 or $400. That's what makes them money, and that's what makes the company money. Therefore, they need the good stuff.
Yeah, there's nothing that will derail a job faster than if we get out to a job and somebody has a broken drill and they have not replaced it, right?
Yeah.
So that's a really good point too, because one of our goals is that each year we try to add a benefit or increase a benefit or something. And there's been years we'll take that tool account and we'll go up by like $50 or $100, $75, whatever that is. Now, something with that, because, you know, in our company, we have positions in our company. We have managers and sales positions and office positions and marketing that they don't use tools. So then we created like a little office fund because, you know, if you want some shelving for your office, if you want a specific, I know like Elizabeth has one of those like popcorn keyboards. It's like pop, 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 pop as she's typing. It's crazy.
I don't even know. I don't know if it shoots popcorn out. Or
I think it's got like popcorn something or whatever. But it's like a specialty. Like that's not what we provide. But like her tool account, her office account can cover some of those things.
So what happens if your service manager, your install manager's like, well, I need a drill?
Well, honestly, sometimes they use that. Like if they've got somebody off on PTO and that manager has to jump in the field and cover that, I'd be all right with that.
But that's that. I go back to the tool account. It can easily be upped. To show value.
Right.
Tools they're not getting any cheaper.
No.
And they use them all the time.
Right. So let's talk about that boot account. Now, not only do we tier that, so you've been here this many years, you get this much, this many years, this much, this many years, this much. That is a benefit along with the tool account that doesn't start until a year after employment, right? So somebody has to be with us for a year. That's the other thing to think about when you're putting together a benefits package is what benefits might happen right away. So our hoodies, our hats, the fun swag stuff, that's immediate upon hire, right? A lot of our benefits start after 90 days. Some of our benefits start after 1 year. Some of them, we've got one benefit that starts January 1st after a year. So if somebody starts with us in March, it's going to go all the way around to the next January 1st before it starts. So you can set those timelines to make sure that you have the right people in that you're investing in then too.
It's like the sign-on bonus.
Oh, totally.
$10,000 sign-on bonus. Well, you don't get that. It's spread out over years.
Yes.
So you do have that. We're not going to throw a bunch of tools and boots and this and that for you to leave. Now, those you got to worry about if there's no track record.
Right.
But if they've been with you over a year and it resets, water under the bridge. But those are just add-ons that make people feel good because it's something that health insurance is health insurance. You may not use it. Boots and tools, you're going to use.
Or like fun stuff for your office or whatever. Travis, I think those are great examples of really creative ways for small businesses to add value and build their benefits package without feeling like they have to have the budget of the big corporations to compete with that, right? I think too, so many times, like I'm going to give an example on Thanksgiving, for example. So we'll often have a big Thanksgiving pitch-in. So we'll do this huge breakfast. It's a pitch-in. It's so much fun. It's relaxing. Everybody laughs, everything else. I know you worked for a bigger company before and you either got nothing or they gave you a turkey or something, right?
No, not even a turkey. It was a ham.
Oh, a ham. Okay. I know you're bitter about that still.
And it was a ham every year, and I don't even like ham.
Yeah, and so, think about those things too as a small business. You're really incorporating your company culture in what you're doing. And so, maybe you have, a $20 gift card or a $10 gift card to go get a turkey or to go, I don't know how much turkey is, but say you have that to go do that and you do it in the middle of a pitch-in. That's going to mean so much more than just everybody gets a ham or we don't do anything at all, right? Now, building on some of these creative ideas, we have a prize wheel, right? And I totally list this as a benefit of our business. So every month in our full company team meeting, our team can nominate each other team members, and they get nominated based on our core values. And so how did somebody go above and beyond this month, or how did somebody demonstrate one of our core values? And then at the end of that, everybody nominates, all fun. We have a bunch of names in there. We draw 2 people. They get to spin the prize wheel, right? Name some things on our prize wheel.
Well, it seems every time we put the big one up there, like a Ruth's Chris gift card, it seems to get hit.
Yes.
But there's Home Depot, there's Amazon, Dairy Queen, Wendy's, Cabela's.
Yeah.
4 hours of PTO paid.
Yeah.
There's
one that's by Travis and Americano.
Yeah. I've yet to cash in on it.
It's like the zonk.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
But just that when your name gets called and you draw and it hits something you really like, that's more value than you can even fathom.
Yes.
For that person.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, there's been some of our team members have been able to spin the prize wheel a few times a year.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be $300 worth of gift cards and stuff that they got throughout the year. And it's fun, but you have, as a small business, you have to make sure that you're listing those things in your benefits package. We list our company outings that we do. We try to do 4 a year. And I'm specific in the types that we have. We have 2 employee-only company outings. We have one that's adults only, bring a plus one. We have one that's full family. And so we list those out as part of our benefits package as well. Yeah. So Travis, how important is it to keep the value? Because we just talked about, it takes a budget, right? We've got a plan for all these benefits. How do we keep the value of these benefits in front of your team?
Well, sometimes we don't talk about it enough.
You're right. We don't talk about it enough.
And because after you have that, the day after Thanksgiving, December rolls around and it's kind of forgotten.
Yeah.
Even though everyone enjoyed the day off, because we send out messages all day throughout the day.
Yeah. It becomes kind of expected though.
Yeah,
because
it's expected.
It's just normal now.
But getting the team to buy in and having the great culture, if you keep it ahead, you keep it in front of them, and you should keep it in front of them of what goes into your package deal every year at a company.
Yeah. So we actually, and I will say, we've not been consistent at this, but this is on my list with improving our onboarding and everything. This is part of my list, is having an annual letter that we actually mail to their home, because we want their spouse to see this as well, that shows exactly what they earned that year, right? Yeah. And so in kind of base pay, in commissions and bonuses, and then in benefits, and the value of those benefits, because not everybody realizes. We'll take health insurance for a minute. I remember when I used to work, if y'all remember Wishard Hospital, I used to work at Wishard before we had our business. And when I left there, I got the COBRA notice. And I was like, oh my gosh, COBRA insurance is so expensive. I didn't realize that was the cost of my health insurance. It's just that they were paying such a large portion of it. I had no idea. Nobody had talked to me about that. Nobody told me about that. So I thought what I was paying was most of the premium. Had no clue. And so it's our job as employers too, to really help people understand the value and the true cost that goes into these benefits. Yeah, it's because you're thinking, you take yourself as an individual and you go start a company. This is what it takes to have employees. This is what it requires. And we call it, the word we call it's labor burden of what it costs to have that employee. What percentage is it generally? It's roughly 35 to 40% of their hourly pay. Yes. Above and beyond that hourly pay is 35 to 40%. And you have to do those things. Well, and getting into pricing, we'll veer here for just a minute. As you're pricing for your company, you can't just factor in their hourly wage, right? Yes. You have to factor in all the other things that go in with that. The employer taxes, potential overtime, and then benefits. Yes. And as you said, that's 35 to 40% of that hourly wage. So you take a $25 an hour person, they might really be making $34 an hour. Or you take a $34 an hour person, they're probably making more like 46. And we love coming up with different benefits. We love doing add-ons. Yeah. Absolutely love letting the team know that we've added something to the benefits package. Yeah. So I feel like, Travis, we are always trying to think creatively and bring on some new things. So something that we did, we implemented several years ago, was as people hit milestone anniversaries with the company, they get something, right? So at 5 years, it's $500 cash.
Mm-hmm.
At 10 years, it's a paid vacation. We do a $2,000 budget, and they get that budget to do like a long weekend vacation. And then 15 years, we've said, is to be determined. We're going to have to determine that pretty soon because we've got somebody at 11 years right now.
We got 3 back to back.
Yes. And so you even think about like the vacation, it seems so big, but you take a $2,000 budget, you know how many people are going to hit 10 years this year. And so you know, am I budgeting in 2,000? Am I budgeting in 4,000? Am I budgeting in 6,000? What am I budgeting in for that this year?
Yep.
You can easily do it.
Yes.
Right? It's the same thing with like a referral bonus. If somebody refers somebody, you hire them, what's that bonus going to look like? Some companies will do sign-on bonuses. You know how many people you're expecting to hire. So plan, okay, if I get 80% are referrals from my own business, I'm going to budget that amount of money.
Yep.
Right? Okay. So Travis, let's wrap up. We've talked a lot about our non-negotiables. So for us, that was PTO, non-negotiable. Oh, let me say one more thing about PTO. Something that we also implemented was on everybody's anniversary, they get an additional 16 hours of PTO.
Yeah.
That's a really
How
good
did we forget that?
I don't know. That's a really good one though. So that's our way of saying thank you for another year. We've always said, and when we hire people, raises are not given, raises are earned.
Yeah.
And so just because you hit a year doesn't mean you're automatically getting a raise. And so, but what you do automatically get is an additional 16 hours of PTO as a thank you from us. So if somebody is getting 80 hours of PTO, they really get 96 plus their birthday, plus the day after Thanksgiving. So we definitely show that in part of their paid time off. So that's that non-negotiable PTO, non-negotiable health insurance, right? We went through a whole lot of add-ons. I would say our top 3 add-ons, if you're a small business and you have a really small budget and you just want to start somewhere, right? I'm going to say birthday paid off is a really easy and great one to implement. Yep. Probably some other sort of paid day off, I would almost say, like an extra holiday in there. I mean, we just had, in the last couple of months, we've had Martin Luther King Day, we've had Valentine's Day, Easter's coming up. So we have some additional holidays that maybe Good Friday that you'd want to give in your business. And I'd say another one would be implementing some sort of prize wheel because it's recognition. We're doing something fun as a reward. And our recognition goes anywhere from $10 up to $100 in extra PTO, right? Yeah. What would you say? I don't know, maybe some sort of stipend would probably be one of your definites too, for like tool account or something
tool
like that.
account for sure. Because I know coming from the field, you live and die by your tools. Your living is by your tools. Your tools will break. You use them every day. So therefore, I think having to worry about going out and getting a drill when I don't have the money, it can be a little daunting for some people.
Sure.
Especially starting out in the trades.
Well, and think about not just the trades. Like your brother's a chef, and so his tools are like knives and utensils and things like that. And so when you think of tool account, what does that mean for your business? Yep. If you're an artist, it might be paintbrushes, right? Or I think of esthetician, like, you know what I mean? Like all of the things you need, like what's the tools for your business that you can make a tool account? And it could be $100. Yeah. And so you can 100% budget that in.
If you can't budget $100, you probably
shouldn't be in business.
You shouldn't be in business. You probably don't have a great team behind you. I hate to say it. You probably don't have,
you got bigger problems.
You got bigger problems. If you're worried about $100, if you're worried about even $1,000 on a 10-year vacation down the road, you got bigger problems. You should be able to budget that in. You should be able to take care of your people.
That's a really good point, and I love that. If benefits are something that is so we've had people who joined our team because the companies that they were at were taking benefits away. Yes. And that's how they were trying to cut expenses, was to take benefits away. If you're not adding benefits and you're not investing in your team and you're not getting creative with this, you're in trouble.
You're going the wrong way.
Yeah, you are in trouble.
You'll have the eternal hamster wheel of turnover.
Yes. So, and that is not what you want. No. That's not what your client wants. Anything. So
ultimately take care of your people. And that's what benefits are.
I will say, when you take care of your people, they take care of your clients. 100%. So it's a beautiful circle. It's like the circle of life that works around there. So, okay. So on that note, go work on your benefits package. If you have any questions or you need some help getting those creative juices flowing, reach out. I'm happy to personally respond and help out with that. We really believe, and it's changed our company when we really invested in benefits for our team.
Yep.
All right. So join me next time on Lasting Business Solutions podcast.